Hello, welcome to this video. This is a video I've wanted to do for quite some time actually, and it just seemed around about the right time now in which to do it because it's now a year old and we're talking about this bad boy here, the Apple Watch. So I just wanted to give my thoughts, feelings, opinions about the watch now that it's been out for a year, and just really what I feel about it, and whether I'm likely to get another one when the second one comes out. So yeah, this is kind of my 1 year on Apple Watch review. So I want to kind of start with some of the things that I really like about the watch. So here's a little bit of a better close-up. I'll take some close-ups anyway of the watch so you can get a better look. So, and there are certain things that I like about it. The first one being the design. You know, I really like the design. To me, despite the fact some people say it's not Apple at all, I think this is quintessentially Apple, from how it's designed to the quality of the materials. It's just the little things, like even the back plate with the sensor on it there is really lovely compared to, you know, other wearables that have a sensor and you think, well, some ugly piece of plastic bolted onto the back. This is really good. This is really neat. Love the fact you can change the straps. I think this is absolutely brilliant. This is probably the single best design thing about it. And obviously now with so many third parties available, with all the straps that are available, there are probably thousands now. So that's awesome. And I've got a black one, a red one, the white one, obviously a blue one. So yeah, that's really, really good. I like the fact that it's a square, not a round circular watch. To me, that makes it stand out. And I think it's also really clever that you can have the digital crown here, and that just by switching it over and you move the straps around, it makes it easy to go from left to right-handed. I actually tend to wear my watch some days on my left hand and some days on my right. Just depends on how I feel, really. I'm right-handed, so I technically, whatever, should wear it here, but sometimes I like it on my right hand. So yeah. I like the watch faces. I think it's got some really nice watch faces on it here. I think that's really good. And I really do like the notifications. I think Apple have got the notifications done really well on here. Completely frustrating at first. It drove me crazy that for the first hour in which you have your watch, you have everybody pinging your wrist. And because it not only dings you, but also taps you, it felt like constantly like my wrist was under attack. And it was like, ah! But the app is good enough in which you can then go, right, I want to receive text, I want to receive WhatsApps and phone messages, but I don't want to receive LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook Messenger, blah, 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 blah. So you can get rid of all those, which is good. Now, some of the things I don't like about it, so, okay. First up is the battery. It is ridiculous you have to charge it every night. I mean, come on. I know there's this whole thing about we charge our phones all the time, and I get that. That's a phone though, okay? That's a phone with a big screen. To charge a watch every day is a pain in the bum. It really is. And nobody's gonna say, that's really convenient to charge it every night. You know, if you travel, if you go away for the night or go away for a couple of days, you have to take your cable with you. You know, you have comparable watches out there that have like 7 days battery life. You don't need to take your cable away with you. And to think, and actually a couple of weeks ago, I forgot to take my cable. I then had to try and make this last for 2 days. And it didn't. By about the last hour of the day, by the time I got to my charger, it had something like 3% battery life on it there, and it had been in power save mode, and it kind of went. So I was like, oh man. So, yeah, that's a pain. It's good it's got a power save mode on it there, but once it's in power save mode, then it's not going to track your steps, track your fitness, track anything else, give you notifications, so it just turns into a bit of a dumb watch, basically. Now, some of the other things that I really don't like about it, and this is where I have my love-hate relationship. I want to wear a wearable for the fitness side of things, and I want it to quantify everything that I'm doing. So I would love this to be able to tell me my sleep, my steps, my fitness, my heart rate. It does some of that really well, and it does some of it really badly. I think as a watch to count your steps, fine, it can do that for you. It doesn't proactively tell you about that, but okay, you can just click up onto the activity app and see. I think from a cardio point of view, it's quite good. I think if you're going for a run or a walk, okay, I think it does the job. Anything else, don't worry about it. I do weight training. and this thing is not very good with weight training. This thing does not pick up very well if you're on the rowing machine either, or the elliptical machine, or anything else that involves you remotely moving your wrist. This will just not work. I have actually compared this with some Fitbits, and I think if you ask for my opinion, Fitbit are much better at fitness tracking, than the Apple Watch. Hands down, no two ways about it. I think the heart rate monitor on the Fitbits, and I'm talking specifically the Fitbit Surge or the Fitbit Blaze, by the way, I'm not sponsored at all to say this, are really good. They clearly invested lots of time, effort, energy, testing into their Fitbit products. I don't think the same was done with this. I really don't. This will cut out when you're in the middle of a set, and then you look at the watch and it says measuring. Sometimes it takes 2 minutes to come back up. On the Fitbit, you give it 10-15 seconds, it loses your heart rate and it'll pick up on it pretty much straight away. So that's just a really, so in the next version, please improve the heart rate tracking monitor on this. Please. I also think this was launched, well, it was announced, September 2014. So at the time it was like, the Apple Watch, and I remember sat there watching the video and being like, I want one. But actually, by the time it came to like the next year and it came out in April, and I was like, 7 months have passed now. And even by that point, I was like, this feels kind of dated in technology world. And other watches had come out, and other tracking devices that seemed to be doing more and had more functions built into it. Like the Microsoft Band, when that came out, that does more than this from a fitness point of view than the Apple Watch. So my main takeaway is that it's a jack of all trades, but it really is a master of none. Okay, and this is the problem with the Apple Watch. It doesn't know where it sits in the world, and I think this is the struggle. Many people, and people that I know that either had a watch, have a watch, all say the same thing. They like it, but they don't love it. Whereas you ask people about their phones, and it doesn't matter whether somebody has a Samsung, a Sony, an iPhone, people that are loyal to their brand of phone or operating system, whether it's Android or iOS, generally and genuinely say, my God, if I lost my phone, I wouldn't know what to do. You know, the phone is their world, their life. The phones are the deal breakers. This is not. Where does this sit in the world? You know, nobody's figured that out yet. Apple haven't figured that out yet. And even with iOS 2 last year, that we were hoping for, you know, it was going to be opened up to all the developers and suddenly amazing things were going to happen with a watch. I'm sorry, that didn't happen. You know, we're now in May of 2016 and it's still not doing amazing things. So I'm really intrigued to see where this is going to go. And I'm sure within a year of the first iPhone being launched, the iPhone being launched with the App Store, within a year of the App Store being launched, crazy amazing things were happening and developers were making these apps that were just doing insane things. But on the watch, not so much. So, yeah, would I buy one again? No. Probably not at the price it is. And a word to the wise here, if you're going to buy an Apple Watch, it comes in 3 designs. You have your Sport, which is this one, which is aluminium and sapphire glass. You have your standard Apple Watch, and then you have your Apple Watch Edition, which is the crazy, 10, 11, 12 grand watches. They all do the same thing, okay? They don't do anything different. You're literally paying for different materials. If you're going to get an Apple Watch and if you're interested, get the Sport version. Okay, it still looks really nice. You can get it in a black version as well. Do not waste your money unless you're a billionaire that's watching this and you have money to burn, whatever. You're just thinking, shut up, mate, and move along. But seriously, it's an investment. These start at like £300. No, that's a lie now. They start at £260 in the UK. So, but it's still £260. That's for the first model. That's still a lot of money. And you don't want to be updating these like every year. This is a watch. Watch are timepieces. You're meant to be holding on to them. So that's a bit irksome as well. So, but look, oh man, I'm just rambling about the watch here. So I like it. I don't love it. Will I get the next version? Maybe. I'll wait and see. It needs to be faster. This is pretty slow. Okay. It's not the quickest thing in the world. And whilst I use my phone less than I ever have done, there are points when you're saying to check the weather or check a text or something and it's the little cogwheel is going and going and going and you're like, oh man, it's quicker to pull your phone out your pocket and go, actually, I'm going to check it on this. So they need to make it faster. Do I need a FaceTime camera on it? Not really. I'm not going to walk around going on on it with a FaceTime camera. I barely like talking on it as a phone because I think you look like a bit of a nonce. So to actually be looking at somebody, and you're going to get massive arm ache, you're going to be like this. So they don't need to worry about that. What should they put on it? I don't know. Just wow us. Give us the golden nugget. Give us the killer feature that we want, but we don't know it yet. But you tell us, Apple, what we want, and then we'll buy it. Maybe. So yeah. So 1 year on, that's how I feel about it. Like it. I don't love it. Be good to know what you think. Good to know your comments. Maybe some tips and tricks. How do you get on with yours? Are you still wearing it? Are there anybody out there that bought it, hates it, sold it, or people that bought it and think it's the best thing since sliced bread? Would love to know. So anyway, it's time for dinner. I know that much because it's quite a good timepiece. So yeah. Anyway, don't forget, put some comments if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. If you don't worry about it. And hey, keep fit. Stay geeky. Ciao.